Good morning and welcome to Wednesday morning gentle morning flow. We are studying the Madhyama mudra this week and have been building our practices around that. So I invite you to join me on the mat. We're going to do about a 45-minute routine this morning. So find your comfortable seated position. I like to sit up on the bolster when I am first beginning my morning routine and meditation. That way I give my hips plenty of room to open up, allow my knees to sit below my hips, and allow a gentle arch of my lower back. So if you find that you are sitting up kind of like this and kind of hunching over, I invite you to go ahead and rise up your heart center and allow your knees down and allow for your body to naturally open up. So I'll show it to you from the side. So you can see from the side, I'll even turn a little bit more to the back. You can see how that looks sitting up on this bolster. I'm going to take the bolster away and show you the difference. So as you can see, my knees came up when I sat down on the floor, and I started to lean a little bit forward. I can, of course, sit up. It's a little bit more effort for me. And this time of the day, my hips aren't open enough yet, so my knees are kind of hovering off the floor. You can choose that if you want, but it isn't very relaxing. And this is our gentle flow. So we really want to start off the morning with a more gentle approach to our yoga and not forcing our bodies to do anything that they're not really ready yet to do. So what I would like you to do now is go ahead and start to draw your consciousness inward. Start to become present on the mat fully physically and emotionally and with your conscience. And then just start to breathe in and out of your nose. And become aware of your breath. Breathing in gently and out through your nose. And while you're breathing, I will talk with you about this mudra. So the Madhyama mudra is called the gesture of the middle finger. And the way that we do it is we create a fist with our hands, and then we extend out our middle fingers and we place the points of our middle fingers together and draw it in against our solar plexus, or at least draw our shoulders back and down, draw our elbows close to our ribs and hold it in front of our solar plexus muscles. So it should not be a stressful or there should not be much effort involved in engaging in this hand mudra. So you don't have to pull it all the way back. That's not necessary. And then this mudra is one that is good for stabilizing our levels of energy, supporting optimal digestion, releasing tension from the mid-back, balancing your giving and your receiving, and unfolding all of our potential. If you research about this mudra, you might also find that it is connected to vitality, living a life with vitality. So in order to do that, we pick and choose how we spend our energies, how much we put out there, and how much of our resources we use, and making our energy available for what it is that we need it for and what we value. So this is a good mudra that you can practice several times a day. You can just sit in stillness, doing the gesture of the middle finger, engaging in nice deep yogic breathing for about a minute a day, 2 to 3 times per day. So it is a good mudra to engage in if you're having any difficulties with your digestion. And since we're using it to influence our yoga this morning, you can bet that we're going to have some twists in our flow today that will help us to help cleanse and release toxins from the digestive tract. But because it is associated with the solar plexus, you might also include poses that stimulate the solar plexus area of the body. So those can be poses that fire you up, but here's a little trick. Almost every pose engages the solar plexus chakra or the manipura. So as we go through our sun salutations this morning, just draw your attention to that middle area of your body. Let's do one more breath together. Exhale fully, and then inhale our hands out and up. Exhale them out and down. Inhale them out and up. Exhale out and down. And then inhale your hands out and up. And then exhale, bring hands to heart center. You can use this time to establish an intention for this practice today. Continue breathing deeply in and out. Start to engage your Ujjayi breath, where you slightly constrict the back of your throat. And as your air passes over it, it will warm up. And it will sound a little bit like the Darth Vader breath. Let's take a collective inhale together. And fully release that out. I'm going to go ahead and move my block to the side, or not my block, I'm sorry, my pad here. And then I'm going to go ahead and set up my blocks on either side. So initially, let's start off in child's pose. Go ahead and spread your knees as you put your toes together and lay in between your legs, placing your forehead on the floor. You can have your arms out along the sides of your legs if you want. You can outstretch them in front of you, whatever it is that you need in the moment. I often find before my shoulders have warmed up, I prefer to have my arms alongside my legs. Child's pose is a wonderful pose for connecting you with the earth, for grounding you, for helping you restore your breathing, and for calming your nervous system. When you place your forehead in contact with the earth, it has the added benefit of helping to reduce depression. Child's pose reminds us to nurture ourselves and treat ourselves lovingly. And you can come back to it anytime you want. Okay, let's go ahead and rise out of child's pose, inhaling up. And then go ahead and move up towards the top of your mat in a standing mountain pose. So go ahead Rise your heart center up, lift up out of your pelvis, allow your shoulders to naturally come down, hands pointed forward, toes pointed forward, drawing your belly button in against your spine and making sure that your head is in alignment with your shoulders and your hips. Inhale your hands up. Exhale them out and down. Inhale your hands out and out. Exhale them out and down. And then inhale them out and up. And then exhale, bend your legs deeply as we forward fold, laying your torso over your legs. In the mornings, we might feel that we are very stiff, as I feel right now. So use your blocks on either side as you fold down over your legs and you bend your legs deeply. Use your blocks to keep your heart center elevated and to keep your spine nice and long. And then when you have achieved that length, you can go ahead and drop the crown of your head, but leave your torso exactly where it's at. Inhale into a flat spine. And then on the exhale, go ahead and take your right foot back and then drop your knee. Now you can just remain up high on the knees if you want to, or you can start to move forward, moving both hips at an equal pace forward so that your hip points stay forward. And go ahead and allow the crown of your head to rise up as you draw your shoulders back. You don't need to force yourself into anything with this pose. This is our Wednesday gentle yoga. So I invite you to just gently move forward, and you don't even have to do that. If you want to just stay up nice and high and do this, that's totally acceptable. So let's take an inhale and an exhale. Inhale. And then on your exhale, take your left knee back to join your right. Place your blocks to the side. And what I want you to do is as we go into tabletop, keep your hips high as you walk your hands forward into puppy dog pose. So we're choosing this pose instead of going into downward facing dog. And initially, because you're just opening up your spine, my recommendation is try not to have your hands go too forward and front, and use this as an opportunity to keep your knees nice and, or your hips nice and high as you draw your heart center towards the floor. Maybe your face touches the floor, maybe it does not. Give the body time to gradually open. Inhale, rise up. Take your blocks, take your right foot forward. Again, you can start up nice and high like this if you choose, or you can go ahead and move your hips forward into that lunge. Either way is acceptable depending on what your body's needs are this morning. But when you arrive, continue to rise up your heart center as you allow your shoulders to fall down your back. Take a nice big inhale. And then on your exhale, you can use your blocks, tuck your left toes, and bring your left foot in to join your right. In that deep fold again with your legs bent, go ahead and inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, allow your body to fold in. And then on the inhale, rise all the way up. And then exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale your hands down and inhale your hands up, and then exhale. Swan diving forward, bending your legs, folding your body across your legs. Drop your crown. You can use your blocks as support as I'm demonstrating here. Inhale into a flat spine, and then exhale. Bring your left foot back. You can be in the higher lunge with 90-degree angles, or you can move your hips forward. Yogi's choice according to what your body tells you it needs. And then when you arrive at this place, draw your heart center up as you bring your shoulders down. Inhale. And then exhale, bring your right knee back. Go ahead and place your blocks aside. Walk your hands forward into that puppy dog pose. One more inhale. And then exhale, go ahead and walk your hands back. Take your left leg forward, okay? Up high if you choose, or move forward into that lunge, that low lunge. Draw your shoulders back and down as you draw your heart center up. One more inhale. And then on your exhale, go ahead and place your blocks forward. Tuck your right toes and bring your right foot forward to join your left. With your legs bent deeply, go ahead and fold down over your legs. Inhale into that flat spine. Exhale down, and then inhale, rise all the way up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale our hands down. Inhale our hands up. Exhale, bend our legs deeply as we swan dive forward, laying our torso across our legs and then dropping our crown. Inhale into that flat spine. Exhale, bring your right leg down. Choose your position. I'm going to go ahead and choose a little bit of a forward lunge, but I am adjusting my blocks to draw my heart center up as I draw my shoulders down. Inhale. And then exhale. Bring your left knee back to join your right. And then go ahead and walk your hands forward into that puppy dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise up. And bring your hands back. Take your blocks. Bring your right foot forward. You can choose a higher lunge, or you can choose to lower and move your hips forward into a lower lunge. Drawing the shoulders back as you lift your heart center up. One more inhale. Exhale, place your blocks in front, tuck your left toes and bring your left foot to join your right. Keep your legs up deeply. Inhale into that flat spine. Exhale, lower down, dropping your crown. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale your hands down and inhale your hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward, bending your legs deeply, dropping your crown. Inhale into that flat spine. Exhale down, taking our left foot back, dropping our knee. Either more upright lunge or moving forward, drawing the heart center up as we allow our shoulders to fall back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale again. Exhale. Take our right knee back, move our blocks aside, and go ahead and walk forward. Your hands. I said walk forward, but I didn't tell you. Move your hands forward into puppy dog pose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And then exhale, go ahead and rise up. Take your blocks, bring your left foot forward. Choose the lunge that works best for you. Rising up your heart center as you're dropping your shoulders down your spine. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And then exhale, tuck your right toes and bring your right foot forward to join your left. Deep bend in the legs as you rise into your half lift with a straight back. And then exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise all the way up. And then exhale, bring hands to heart center. We'll do that a third time. Inhale. Exhale your hands down, then inhale your hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward, bending your legs deeply as you lay across your thighs. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, drop your crown, take your right foot back. and drop your knee. And go ahead and rise up your heart center as you drop down your shoulder blades. One more inhale. And then on your exhale, go ahead. Bring your left knee back to join your right. Place your blocks aside and go ahead and walk forward with your hands into that puppy dog pose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And then exhale, go ahead and rise up. Take our blocks and go ahead and bring our right foot forward. And go ahead and allow your hips to move forward if you want, or you can remain up high like this. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, place your blocks forward, tuck your left toes, bring your left foot to join the right. Inhale into that flat spine, and then exhale, fold over your bent legs, dropping your crown. Inhale, rise all the way up. And then exhale, bring hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, bend your legs as you fold forward, allowing your torso to lay across your thighs, dropping your crown. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, bring your left foot back and drop your knee. You can be back in this presentation, or you can be lunging forward as I am. It is your choice. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And then exhale. Draw your belly button in as you move your right knee back. And then go ahead and walk your hands forward into that puppy dog pose. Inhale, rise up. Take our right leg forward, back into that lunge. The other way. Are we already on the left side? I think we are. Sorry, I do this all the time. Somehow on the third one, I always lose my way. Go ahead and move forward into that lunge, or stay up upright if you choose. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, tuck your right toes. Bring your right foot forward to join your left, folding deeply over your thighs. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. And then inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. If I have missed a pose in that sun salutation, let's pretend we did it. Okay, so let's go ahead and come back down to the floor. And let's do some gentle cat-cow movements that are nice for opening up the spine. So when we're in our tabletop position here, what I want you to do is draw the crown of your head forward as you draw your shoulders away from your ears, drawing your belly button into your spine and having a nice, beautiful, long, flat back. Let's just hang out here for just a moment to just get into that experience of feeling well aligned. And notice I said draw the belly button in against the spine. That is indeed activating your Manipura chakra or the solar plexus. Now on your next inhale, I want you to lift up your sits bones by tilting your pelvis bowl up. Lift up your heart center, draw your shoulders down your spine. And then on your exhale, I want you to reverse all that by drawing your back up to the ceiling, which naturally allows your tailbone to drop, allows the crown of your head to drop. Inhale, reversing that, drawing your tailbone up to the sky or your sits bones up to the sky, drawing your shoulder blades back and down as you draw your heart center up. And then on the exhale, go ahead and reverse that, drawing the top of your back up to the ceiling as we move into cat. And then let's go ahead again. Lift up your sits bones. Draw your heart center up and forward as you allow your shoulders to pull down and away. And then exhale, return to that neutral spine. Let's once again walk into that puppy dog pose. And then take our right hand and kind of wrap it underneath our left arm, threading it underneath so that we can have a nice stretch along the outside of the right shoulder. Move your hips to the right to properly align your body. And just enjoy this gentle stretch along the outside of your right shoulder. Go ahead and rise up. Place our right hand in front and then thread our left arm underneath, laying across our left shoulder. Draw your hips to the left. One more inhale. And then go ahead and lift up. And then go back into that puppy dog pose again, allowing your forehead to touch the floor if possible. Remembering that when your forehead or the crown of your head is in contact with the ground, it has a grounding effect. It helps to combat depression. It's also good for headaches. Go ahead and rise up. Go ahead and tense your hands. So create like spider fingers. Make your arms nice and wide. Your hips are up high in the air. Your arms are nice and wide. Let's just go ahead and allow our heart center to come down. So this is a nice stretch for the front of the chest and for your shoulders. And then go ahead and rise up. Go ahead and sit back on your knees. And just sit here for a moment, allowing this deep knee bend to bring synovial fluid into your joints, to nourish them, to hydrate them, to juice them up. And then go ahead and rise up on your toes, tuck your toes and sit back on your heels. This is just a gentle stretch of the feet. You don't have to do this for long, but it is nice to do it. And let's go back to the tabletop position again. And I promised twists. We're going to have some twists. We did our first little set of twists. Now we're going to do a little bit of a different one. We're just going to rise our left arm up to the sky, which starts to strengthen the muscles on the outside of your left arm and on your shoulder and of your torso. Then go ahead and place your left hand on the floor and do the same thing with your right. Keep your hips stationary. Go ahead and place your right arm down and lift up your left arm. Keeping your hips stationary. And then exhale, place that down and lift up your right arm. Very, very lovely. It's very nice to be here with you this morning doing this. So let's do just some gentle movement of the hips. Make circles with your hips. Whichever way you were traveling, go ahead and reverse that direction. So this is very gently opening up the outsides of the hips, stretching them out a little bit. Giving your body just a little bit of nice movement first thing in the morning. Very lovely. And let's go ahead, take our blocks, and then let's go ahead and do that again. Go into a lunge again, but move into the lunge, kind of forward move into it. Place your hands on the inside of your right foot, and then just go ahead and just do some gentle movements, kind of like half circles, or maybe full circles, whatever works for you, while you've got your foot in this position, so that we can start to open up those hips. You're probably going to work after this today. You'll be happy that you opened up your hips before you went to work. Okay, go ahead and bring your right foot back. Bring your left foot forward. You can use your blocks or you can not use your blocks. Place your hands on the right side of your left foot and do the same thing. Just use this as an opportunity to open up the hips. You oftentimes will hear people call these organic movements. That's true, they are. Just how does the body like to move? How does it feel good? Totally okay. And let's go ahead back onto the floor, lay down on our tummies, okay? And let's just take a Sphinx pose. With Sphinx pose, we want our elbows firmly underneath our shoulders. We want to focus on drawing the heart center forward as we lift up the heart center. So this is a wonderful way to help align your spine and strengthen all of the muscles along the center of the spine. I'm going to move forward because my toes are off the mat. So the nice thing about this pose is that it strengthens the whole middle of your back while it provides a gentle stretch along the front of the body. And you can engage this pose as strongly as you want, or you can release out of it a little bit, but always maintain that principle of rising up your heart center as you draw your shoulders back and down. One more inhale. And on your exhale, go ahead and release that. Take your right hand, or take both of your hands underneath your shoulders, pulling your belly button up into the spine. Move back again into that child's pose. Now you might be able to have your hands forward because you've been warming up your shoulders. I'm laying across my thighs, but I can further widen my knees, keeping my big toes together as I allow my body to descend between my legs. You continue to lay in that pose. I've gotten a text. I don't know if it's people this morning trying to reach into the call. No, that was my Amazon packages. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. Let's go ahead and move forward, go back on our tummy. And we're going to take a move like we took last week, which was really satisfying. So go ahead and lay on your right side. And we're basically going to do dancer pose on the floor. So to have enough stability, you may choose to bend your right leg, or you may need to have it straight, whatever works for you. You can place a blanket underneath you. You can support yourself, perhaps with a block and kind of lean into the block, whatever works for you. I'm going to go ahead and leave this block in front because it does have that balancing effect. And then reach back and grab your left foot and just hold the top of your left foot for now. And then I'm going to actually move my right foot back to create stability. And then start to just open up your shoulder by drawing your leg backwards in space. You're just gently moving it back, creating a nice stretch at the top of your left thigh. But this has the added benefit of strengthening the lower spine, creating stability for your sacroiliac joints by creating just a little bit of an arch of your lower back. because your hips naturally move forward while you do this. That's really lovely. And then go ahead and release that. And I'm going to show you the back version of this, the back side view of this, because I'm just going to roll over to my left side while I do this pose. Maybe next time I show you this pose, I'll show it to you with my head pointed towards the camera instead of showing you this view of the whole length of my body. Okay, so I've taken my block and I've kind of wedged it underneath my ribs. I'm going to move my left leg back a little bit to create stability. And then I'm going to reach up, grab my right foot, and then just kind of gently move my right leg back. I'm not pulling my leg back, my arm is there. I'm actually engaging the movement from my hip, pushing my thigh backwards in space instead of pulling it. There's a big difference in your muscle energy when you pull versus engaging your muscles and pushing. I prefer the latter. The goal of this pose is not to try to get our leg all wedged back in space and be all amazing and acrobatic. The goal of this pose is to just have a gentle stretch along the top of your right thigh and to create a gentle arch of the lower back. And we're doing it in this wonderful supported way on the floor. Inhale. Then exhale, go ahead and release that. And let's return back to that Sphinx pose that we were in because it's a natural way to move. So I encourage you, if you're making routines at home for yoga, find natural ways to connect your poses to make a true flow. So inhaling, drawing our shoulder up as we bring, or drawing our heart center up as we draw our shoulders back and down. And then exhale, go ahead and lower down. Create those spider hands that we had before with our hands wide out to the side. And then go ahead and rise up into a baby cobra with those spider arms and feel that engagement of your lower back. Go ahead and lower down. Inhale, rise up, drawing your shoulder points together. Everything is very slow. Lower down. And then inhale, rise up one more time, drawing your shoulder blades together and down with your arms way out to the side. Oh, that is so lovely. Go ahead and pull the belly button in as we move back again into that child's pose. And this is providing a nice counter pose to what we just did with the low cobra. Let's go ahead and rise up. Join me at the center of the mat, standing on top of your knees. And because I enjoy gate pose so much, and I know that it's so good to open up our side body waist, our last movement poses of the morning are going to be going into a supported side plank and into gate pose. So take your right foot out to the side of the mat. Move up so that your hips are in alignment with your knee. Draw your shoulders back and kind of like make yourself as tall as you can in this position. Just being like this, you might start to feel an opening of the inside of your thigh. Maybe you feel some opening of the back of the thigh. That's okay. And this is low stress. So let's start out first with our hands in those warrior two arms. Inhale or exhale, go to the left, dropping your left hand to the floor. Right hand is up to the ceiling. And go ahead and just enjoy that stretch along the right hand side. And then on the inhale, rise up. And then on the exhale, drop your right hand to your right leg as you bring your left hand up to the sky in that gate pose. You could also curl to the right, drawing your left arm alongside your left ear to have a maximum stretch all along your left side. Rise up into those warrior two arms, dropping your left hand to the mat as you bring your right hand to the sky. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, dropping your right hand to the right leg, curling to the right in that gate pose. Inhale, rise up. Hands and warrior two arms. Drop your left hand to the mat as you rise your right hand to the sky. And then one more. Inhale up, returning to that gate pose on your exhale. And then rise up. Place your hands on your hips. Change sides. Gently move your right knee in, and then place your left leg out to the side. Once again, rising up and out of the hips, bringing your shoulders back and down so they are over your hips. Take your hands to warrior two arms. Inhale. Exhale, drop your right hand to the floor as you lift your left hand to the sky. Inhale, rise up into warrior two, and then exhale, return into gate pose on the left side, placing your left hand on your left leg, drawing your right arm up alongside your right ear, and perhaps curling over your left leg. Inhale, rise up into warrior two arms, and drop down again into that supported bridge, or supported plank pose, Right hand on the floor, left hand up to the ceiling. Rise up, warrior two arms, and go into that gate pose. Going back into warrior two arms, drop your right hand down as you bring your left hand up overhead. Final inhale as we rise up into those warrior two arms, and then on the exhale, moving back into gate on the right side, drawing our right arm, or on our left side, drawing our right arm along our right ear, left hand is on top of our left leg. And then go ahead, return back to warrior two arms, hands to your hips, bring your knee in, and then let's do one last puppy dog of the morning. And go ahead and rise up. Find your way to a seated pose with your feet out in front. My legs are deeply bent. My knees are up towards the ceiling. My back is nice and tall. Let's go ahead and stretch out our hips if we can a little bit more as we take a reclined or a seated position. We'll take a seated pigeon. Reclined, we could do that, but I'm in the mood for seated today. So just cross your right leg over your left knee. You could have your right foot as far out as you need it to be. Initially, because this is morning and we're having a hard time waking up our bodies, you might find that you're pretty tight on the outside of that right hip. That's okay. Go ahead and bend, or not bend. Flex your right foot, drawing your right toes back towards your right knee, and that protects your knee joint. And then as you feel ready, you can begin to walk your hands up towards your hips. Make sure that your heart center is lifted nice and high. And then as you feel ready, you can bring your left foot in more towards your hips, or towards your butt. And you just keep on gently moving the parts of your body that are external and out and away, move them closer to your body. I can feel the tightness in this today for me. So if you're feeling it at home, I totally get it, but you're still getting a wonderful benefit by just sitting here gently giving your body the opportunity to open up. And hips are so key to back health. When our hips are very tight, they draw so much pressure. You know, they create so much tension on the spine. So the key to a healthy spine is kind of multifold. One is strength. You have to have a good, strong core. which involves the muscles in the front of the body and the muscles in the back. And you need to have some flexibility of the hips that you gain by doing poses like this, forward folds, all kinds of poses that open up your hips. So this morning we did those lunges that open up the front of the hips. We did the circles that help open up all the parts of the hips, plus the lower back. Now we're doing this stretch. We did gate pose, which opens up the side waist, which are also important to not draw too much tension. And then now we're doing this number 4 or seated pigeon, which opens up the back side of the hip, right? Okay, let's go ahead and change legs. Very gently let that right foot down. Take your left foot and cross it over your right knee. Flex your toes to protect your knee. And then go ahead and just start moving into it. Initially, your arms might be far out behind you. Continue to lift up your heart center. The more you lift up your heart center, the more you increase the stretch in the hip, even if you don't move your arms. And then go ahead and move your arms close to the body. My left side is always more open than my right. I don't have any discomfort on this side like I have on the right. We all have some permanent stuff going on. Well, for me, I kind of have a sacrum that's permanently rotated forward to the right. So it's just different on that side, always has been. We honor those differences. We seek for balance and unity of the body. And it's a nice metaphor for what we were talking about when we're balancing our energies. Well, on the mat, we're trying to balance our body. And in doing so, we are mimicking what life off the mat should be like, which is a life of balance. Balance between our obligations and taking time for self-care, between giving and receiving, between work and fun, always seeking balance. All right, go ahead and release that left leg. Let's go ahead and take Shavasana up against the wall again. We'll take about a 5-minute Shavasana. So go ahead, move up towards the wall. Place your feet up along the wall. Having our feet upside down is so restorative. You can have your arms out to the side if you want. You can have them down alongside. The choice is entirely yours. You can even just place them on your belly. Take this moment right now to evaluate. Just scan from the crown of your head all the way to your tailbone and up to your feet. And take note of any parts of your body where you might still feel some tension or some stiffness. And if you need to do a little bit of movement to work that out, go ahead and take this opportunity to do that. But while you are laying here, I invite you now to bring down your consciousness and to start to slow down your breathing. And start to think of what's to come ahead over the next few days as our weather is starting to shift. This morning is considerably cooler than it was 2 mornings ago. And here in the mountains of Southern California, we are told that it may even snow on Monday. And so that's kind of how it goes here in the mountains here. We have 4 seasons, sometimes all in the same week. But truthfully, our shift of seasons doesn't really match what's happening back east. So we find that we have a summer that hits kind of early and extends long into the fall. And we get a fall, but it's usually very short before the rainy season or the snow season hits. And it can be very cold. So we prepare. And how are we preparing? How are we preparing our home, our minds, and our hearts as we head into wintry weather ahead and a very short fall? So our days are going to get shorter. And when we talk about balance, we're going to have to balance how we use our time as the days shorten. We might find we don't have time for the outdoor stuff that we used to love to do. We might find that we are a little bit more sleepy as we kind of go into a pre-hibernation state of winter. We might find that what we eat and what we crave is totally changing. And I invite you to continue to find a way to eat a very healthy diet and still tap into those cravings, which often are for starchy foods and stews and soups, maybe breads. Seek ways that you can eat in accordance with how the seasons are calling to you, but still eat well. Pick up seasonal vegetables, make homemade bone broth. Give your body the warm foods that it's asking for. And just start to put yourself in touch with the sounds and the smells and the scents of this season and the experiences that we have. Just kind of allow all of those to dance in and out of your vision. You can stay here in Rain Shavasana as long as you choose. We recommend up to 5 minutes or longer. I want to thank you for joining me this morning. Tomorrow night we have Hatha Vinyasa Flow. We will continue our study of this hand mudra. The light in me joins the light in you. The yogi in me honors the yogi in you. Namaste.